See JANE WINThe Inspiring Story of the Women Changing the American Politics. Caitlin MoscatelloWhen waves of pink-hatted women engulfed the streets the day after Donald Trump was inaugurated, having beaten the first woman to be nominated by a major party despite his viral boasts of grabbing women by the genitals. The question was, will all this anger turn into political energy? And will that energy last until the next elections, when women might have a chance to make resistance more than a hashtag? Last November's midterms answered definitively, yes. A record number of women ran for office, a record number of women won congressional seats, and female candidates flipping red seats helped power Democrats to a majority in the House. But what's more, these women changed the way women ran for office. Even after the much-heralded Year of the Woman in 1992, women were still campaigning as if they were men, wearing pantsuits, hiding their kids and reciting their resumes to try to prove they had enough experience. The impossible standards, tough enough, but not too tough, played out in Hillary Clinton's two presidential campaigns, as she swung from hawk to doting her mother, only to be seen as inauthentic. Caitlin Moscatello began reporting on women running in the 2018 midterm elections soon after the women's marches of 2017. See JANE WIN is her celebration of the triumph. We know now that Clinton's loss, however devastating, signaled a beginning rather than an end, she writes. The book mostly follows four women, all Democrats, in the successful campaigns, one for Congress, the others for state legislatures. They reflect the diversity of Democrats who won: three are millennials, one is black, one is a dreamer, and another is a former CIA. Moscatello, a freelance journalist, captures the big trends of the midterms. Most important among them that women won because they ran contrary to the old advice. They could win as themselves, embracing the parts of their identities that, in previous years, they would have likely been instructed to squash, she writes. This satisfied voters' cravings for authenticity and for something different, because in politics, one of the most obvious ways to be different is to not be a white guy. Her account is most vivid in the sections that follow Abigail Spanberger, one of the natural-born politicians to emerge in the midterms, who won a congressional seat in the Virginia district where the white male incumbent complained early on about the female activists confronting him over his refusal to hold town hall-style meetings. The women are all in my grill no matter where I go. Moscatello is there as Spanberger sweats out the results, and I felt nervous even though I knew she won in the end. Moscatello also colorfully describes one of the many boot camps that have sprung up to train women to run for office. Best pro tip: to avoid valley girl up talk, mentally say, damn it, at the end of each sentence. With the other three candidates, Moscatello relies on what they told her rather than what she sees. Voters and activists appear little if at all in this book, even though in these midterms, they too were mostly women. And she comes at her topic as a champion of a particular kind of woman, the Democratic kind, which leaves an overly glossy finish. Reading this book might make you think women rose up as a monolith, not just to march against Trump but to oppose the nomination of Brett Kavanaugh. It might make you forget that 52% of white women voted for Trump. Moscatello does not explore the experiences of any Republican candidates. That's understandable. The incoming House class had a record number of women, yet only one Republican woman. But American politics will never get to gender equity on the backs of Democratic women alone. Even with the wave of last November, Congress is still less than 24% female, and surely there's something to learn from the Republican women who ran and lost, at least in some cases because the party didn't support them. It's not clear that even Democratic women can succeed as outsiders the way many men have. All but one of Moscatello's main characters were already in politics, as activists or aides to politicians. We can celebrate progress yet still acknowledge there's a long way to go. Let's block ads. Why?